Steady now.
One of the undisputed champions of fighting games, Capcom seemed to struggle as the 2010s drew to a close. Street Fighter IV remains a highlight amongst the series, but repeated re-releases diminished its appeal somewhat. Meanwhile, the 1-2 punch of Street Fighter V's bare-bones launch and the disappointing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite seemed to mark the end of top-notch fighters for the Japanese giant. But 7 years after its less-than-stellar predecessor, Street Fighter VI marks what is perhaps the strongest entry in the series since the fourth. A beautiful fighter that boasts tons of content for both solo and competitive players, as well as smart tweaks that freshen up the formula. Those keen to dust off their gloves should grab this one sharpish.
Alright, you ready? This will be a good fight. Round 1. Fight.
As you'd expect, Street Fighter VI sees players competing in 1v1 battles. 18 fighters make up the roster, a mix of returning favourites and debuting combatants. Guile, Cammy, Ryu and Chun-Li all return on the veteran side, while newcomers include graffiti-spraying Kimberly and bulky gladiator Marissa.
He gets moody when he smells a coward.
Each comes with 3 strengths of strikes, grapples and super arts, the flashy moves which can add a flourish to knockouts. New to the fighting is the drive system, a fantastic addition which ties in multiple facets of previous games while sprucing up the combat dynamic. This gauge allows you to perform several functions which can aid you in combat, including parrying attacks, powering up your specials, and performing a drive reversal which can stun your opponent for a second. It opens up defensive functions greatly and creates balance as you can counter offensive tactics with the drive system, such as projectiles. However, overuse will push you into a burnout state which leaves you vulnerable. Crisp fighting, impeccable roster balance, and a plethora of mechanics make this a fantastic game. It sounds a bit daunting, and there's certainly high-level play available, but Street Fighter VI's trio of modes offer something for everyone. Fighting Ground serves as the sort of traditional suite of modes.
And I figured street fighting was the best way to do it.
You can partake in arcade mode, which rewards special story scenes, casual multiplayer, and training. The latter is incredibly exhaustive, with practice alone offering so many tweaks to allow you to hone your craft, including frame data, while combo challenges test your mettle. There are also multiple control schemes, with Modern reducing the number of inputs required to perform specials and combos, offering a good starting point for newer players even if it has a ceiling. Versus allows you to duke it out locally or online, either casually or ranked, and it remains a treat. The addition of Extreme Battle is also welcome, a more novel setup where unique gimmicks can be applied to the match, such as contending with a bull running back and forth. These can be fought in traditional fights or under crazier rules, such as Seesaw, which sees you scrapping to send the health bar all the way to your opponent's side. Between all this content, Street Fighter VI is already more fully featured than its predecessor was at launch.
If you want to know about strength, you just gotta get to it. We fighting fools are all getting to it on the streets.
And that's before we get to the World Tour mode, the main meat of the solo experience. Here, after creating your own avatar, you begin a journey as you look for ultimate strength. Like some kind of role-playing spin-off, you can freely explore Metro City, yes, from Final Fight, while partaking in both main quests, side missions, and training fights. Along the way, you can travel to other locales around the globe and meet members of the roster to train and learn their moves. While not as explorable as Metro City, these small screens still boast plentiful charm and colour. There is a lot to like here. You can freely challenge a majority of NPCs around the map, and the seamless transition between 3D exploration and 2D fighting is excellent. Clothing can be bought to customize and improve stats, and if you aren't quite keen on the aesthetics, you can equip a set of clothes which reflect your appearance. There are dozens of quests to undertake, some beautifully choreographed cutscenes to take in, and a ton of hidden secrets to uncover. With close to 20 hours of gameplay, it's one of the most substantial story modes in any fighter, and while the narrative is rather corny, it works. Last but not least is the Battle Hub.
Now, go explore and have some fun!
This is where the competitive side of Street Fighter 6 comes into play. Navigating around a small hub with your World Tour avatar, you can set up competitive fights with ease. Dozens of arcade machines represent potential fights, allowing you to wait for opponents and even spectate others. Tournaments are regularly added for true bragging rights and can be joined in the Battle Hub. A separate section offers extreme battles for those keen on that anarchic fight. And there's even a selection of Capcom classics, available to fully play and even challenge others with leaderboard battles. It's a lively yet simple way of setting up fights, and clubs can help you find like-minded players to compete against. Best of all the online benefits from strong netcode which keeps combat fluid and avoids any interference from latency. For the competitive fighter, this is perhaps the best you could ask for, and the suite of options is fantastic.
Ken wins.
It helps that Street Fighter's debut on PS5 is great visually. During most modes, the characters look fantastic and stylised, whether it's characters like Ryu or Guile adopting a more aged look, or the sprightly animations of younger characters, it looks great. Drive moves spray graffiti with their usage, and it's a stylish touch. Performance is rock solid, even with bright and chunky fighters, gorgeously lit and active stages, and flashy, screen-filling specials. The key word though is most modes, as World Tour can suffer from some less than flattering visuals compared to other modes. Side characters and NPCs often look flat and animate stiffly, which is especially noticeable when any of the roster characters show up, and crowded fights can see some slight slowdown, which is unfortunate. The sound is strong too, with stiff strikes which land with impact, excellent music that fits the variety of cultures and places you explore, and solid voice work during cutscenes and combat. Street Fighter 6 is a fantastic addition to the series, showcasing why Capcom earned their legacy as fighting kings and proving their best entry since Street Fighter 4. Considering modern fighters have a tendency for light launches with multiple season passes filling those blanks, this fighter is insanely rich with content for all kinds of players. Solo players can enjoy the expansive World Tour or fight against AI in Fighting Ground. Casual groups can have a laugh in Extreme and set up more casual matches, while competitive fighters will find all the options they need to fight against the very best. The core itself, the 1v1 combat, is as fluid and exciting as it has ever been, with the smart addition of the drive mechanic streamlining fighting while offering depth. Needless to say, this one is a must for genre aficionados.
I'm Luke, the coach around here. You're here for basic training, right? Okay, let's get you measured up.